What's good, guys? Welcome back to another episode of He Said, She Said. I'm your host, Super Chad, and I'm here with four this time, beautiful ladies. So real quick, name and fun fact about yourself.
Braylon Bailey, and I have 2 hairless cats.
Okay, it's a pretty cool fun fact.
Morgan Monet, and I am from Charleston, South Carolina.
I would not expect that looking at you, honestly.
My name's Ria Denoda, and a fun fact about me, my dad's from Australia, so I lived in Australia for like a long time.
Oh, down under.
My name's Mia, and I'm a lash tech based in downtown.
Okay, that's what's up. So we're going to start off the show with the trending topic that's been going around social media. It's basically, I'll read it off. Here's a list of places women absolutely refuse to go on a first date. So starting off, is Cheesecake Factory a bad place to take a girl on a first date?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Like, there's so many other places, so it's like...
No, for real. Choose a better restaurant.
So Cheesecake Factory, okay, so what is it about it, right? So what is it about Cheesecake Factory that's just not good for a first date?
It's just basic.
It's a chain.
Like, yes,
it's not,
exactly.
You know, like there's like levels to restaurants, and it's kind of like here.
I feel like the
I
food's
agree.
like trash. Like, you might as well go to In-N-Out.
There's like children and families there too. It's not romantic.
Okay, so the fact that it's not romantic, it's a chain.
It's unclassy.
So does chain also mean no Olive Garden either?
Yes.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
no Olive Garden.
no Olive Garden.
Horrible,
But
horrible
it's
choice.
but right now there's unlimited pasta. So you can get a girl real full for like $15.
Then that's a him problem. I expect you to have money. You should be able to afford
Yeah,
me.
that's
If
unfortunate.
you can't afford
then.
me, don't date me.
Cheap.
I mean, I kind of like Olive Garden, so I wouldn't mind going for lunch.
Oh, but not dinner though.
No, not dinner.
Okay.
I mean, I would have to be like locked in for you for like to like go out to Olive Garden. Not on a first date. Like, not on the first date at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You know, ladies, you're not feeling that. So let's go. How about, where's another one? Ooh, Red Lobster.
Ew.
Absolutely not.
No.
Not a
No,
fan.
but I do love their little rolls.
Very good.
So
But not a
Those
first
are
date.
so the cheese biscuits are like, okay, you may give them like, it's not super bad, but it's decent enough. Like just making it by with Red Lobster. or
I
still
mean, I
not?
wouldn't go if he said Red Lobster. I'd probably just take myself and get some of the cheese
No,
rolls.
literally same. I feel like it's more like if you're craving it, then like, you know, like with your homegirls, but not as a first date. Like,
No.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in LA. There's so many good food out here. Why go to a chain restaurant?
Yes.
So, ladies, I guess, you know, there's a lot of men out there scratching their heads at this list, right? Of course, there's a bunch more, but I understand where they're coming from with some of these. Why, I guess, no chain restaurants and no, like, fast food-esque on the first date? Break it down.
There needs to be valet and preferably a water menu.
Okay. Oh, wow, water menu.
Yes.
Okay,
Like,
so
it
that's a new
has to
one.
be very, very upscale.
Okay,
If not, then why?
water menu, that's a new one.
That caught me off guard. But I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I like it too. Okay.
But for me, for a first date, I always required them to plan it
Okay.
and send me the plan like 24 hours in advance because I let them know like what I like. I also let them know that I do not like to walk very far. I'm not very good at parking.
So me, yeah,
they'll be
literally.
like, okay, so the valet is here.
Okay.
This is what time you'll get here. Like some of them would even be like, it takes a couple minutes for valet, so maybe try to get there a couple minutes early. So that was like my standard of dating when I was dating.
Okay.
I feel like with me, just because I'm always booked for things, you know, like
Okay.
if you want to, I feel like if I'm giving you my time and you know, let's be honest, we all have options.
True.
So if you want to like shine now, like you got to let me, like, I like cute aesthetic vibes or like,
Okay.
you know what I mean? I'm not even asking like pay for like $1,000 like dinner. I mean, I wouldn't mind, but like it has to be at least decent. Like kind of like what you said, like I need like advance notice, like, you know, and I really have to kind of like you obviously too.
Right? It's attractive when guys like plan and be assertive. Like, oh yeah, I got this reservation booked for us. Be ready at this time. I'm gonna pick you up, and then we're gonna get there. Whoop doop doop. Like, it just shows dominance as important as a first date to imply.
Also, I feel like a lot of restaurants in LA, you can't get dinner at certain spots like 24 hours in advance. So if you went out of your way to plan it for a certain time and it's like the level of place that I have a standard of going to, then it shows a lot of effort.
Got you. So I get, go ahead. You're about
Well,
to say
there
something.
are the men who can get a reservation no matter what, even if it's a restaurant usually where it takes a month. And those are the men.
Oh,
that I-
true.
That's
And
exactly what I was
those-
gonna say.
Those
Yeah. I want to go somewhere, let's just say like, oh, like my mom's coming in town, and you know my mom's like super like high end, she likes like high class. Like I'm gonna get a reservation. So if I can do it, you can do it too.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So
Okay, so I'm a weigh in for like, because I get what your ladies are saying, but I'm a weigh in for the guys who aren't here who want to say something. I think the first thing they're gonna say is, I may never see you ever again. So why this bigger financial investment up front?
I'm not asking for a financial though. I'm just more asking like just put an effort. If it's like super cute, we're not talking about like price. I'm not really too much about like.
Oh, so it's not a price thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't
fair
think
enough.
it's a price
No.
thing,
Okay.
but it's more
Okay.
of an effort thing, like you know, because there's.
But also, I feel like the standard of men, like of a guy, like I was looking for,
Yeah.
like money wasn't an option.
And that's another thing that's so important. She said that. Now we're talking off camera. I'm not sure this is bad or not, but she said she had a specific type she was looking for, and if you weren't in these thin parameters, she wouldn't even see you in the first place. So it's like the guys who are complaining about her standards probably couldn't get her in the first place.
Yeah, and I don't
Yeah.
think it's wrong of like me to have specific standards.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't think like that makes me a certain type of woman. I just know what I want, and I'm gonna get what I want, and I got what I want. So
Facts.
I think it also depends on if you are going on a date with this person for like a husband type thing or if it's just to fuck them. So
yeah,
Categories.
that's a yeah.
That's actually a good distinction too. But also, when what Morgan said is there are guys out there where $200 is a drop in the bucket. Like they don't even look at it. It's like, oh, okay, 300, okay, here. Versus some guys, they're like, oh fuck, like they have to eat ramen noodles for the rest of the week because they couldn't afford
no.
the rest of
But
the week.
to add to that,
Yeah,
let's put it this way: if I'm going out to dinner, I can afford a $200-300 dinner multiple times a week for myself. I expect that my future partner can do the same because that's where I'm at in life. They need to be there too because it's not my responsibility to get you there. You should already be there.
So what if? So there's plenty of girls here in LA, right, who are kind of bumming it, sugar daddy here, do some things on the side here for cash, so they really can't afford it either. So you said you could afford it. Can the girls who can afford it, can they demand the same type of respect?
I think if they want to. I also like think the girls that are sugaring are making a lot of money.
They are.
If they're doing it right. Like I know a
yeah.
couple girls that do it and they are not cheap, let me tell you. And that's also, I feel like the sugar daddy world kind of sets them up for that because they're dating men or seeing men that have that standard in their life. And so they're just providing the same standard to their sugar baby. So yeah. And if you can't afford it and you want that, there's nothing wrong with going after it.
So she made a good point earlier about it's not really about the money. So could a picnic in a park be a good idea for a good first date, or it has to be valet with a water menu? I love that part.
Well,
Oh, hey, I'm asking you now.
I guess it depends on where the park is and what kind of food
Okay, we're getting
and the
specific.
effort that goes into it.
Okay.
If it's really cute and classy and you have been texting for a while and you feel like there's feelings there, then yes, that could be nice.
Okay.
With me, I kind of want to make like a quick comment because I have this friend, and I'm not gonna, put names out there,
Sure.
but I actually literally, where did we go? We went to go get In-N-Out the first time we hung out, but guess what? A week later, I got a whole Rolex.
Oh wow. So start small and not the top.
Yeah, so I'm like, I feel like it just depends on the guy. You kind of have to like get to know him type, because I'm like, I know you're big ballin', but are you waiting to like give me something? Or are you doing? I'm not even asking for anything. So I feel like when you, as a female, you kind of just gotta play a game. If you don't really ask for something, they're gonna. There's people in LA that'll spend money.
Yeah, I think
You
it
feel
depends on
me?
like
It just
what you
depends.
want. Like
Yeah.
I think like we're all very different here. Like my standards of dating and how I dated were so specific. And she or she could just be like, you know what, no, I'll do this, or you could want a water menu.
Yeah,
It's
facts.
like different
I-
level,
I
and
like
there's
that.
nothing
I like
wrong with it. You just should know. Yeah, I wish I had done that. Honestly,
Said watermelon.
that was great. I think it just
I like that.
depends on like the woman.
Gotcha. So she also made a comment earlier saying if it's a guy you're trying to see for real, or it's just
You're just having fun or something.
you're having
Yeah.
fun, purple eggplant emoji type of vibe. So if it's a purple eggplant emoji type of vibe, does he have to put in the same amount of effort if you see him as like just dick guy?
Not the same amount of effort, but I still would say no if he tried to bring me to Red Lobster or Olive Garden.
Even if like he's like your type through and through physically, he still because that's another thing.
Mentally is way more important to me.
Because sometimes guys who are really handsome can kind of pull off low effort because they're handsome.
I've made that horrible decision. Like I made those mistakes with my ex.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
How about you? Can a guy who's like just super handsome kind of make you go down your standards just because he's so attractive?
No.
Ooh,
I
okay.
never have really been into hookup culture.
Okay.
It's just not really been my thing. I'm all about my friends who live it and their stories. Like I'm here for it.
Yeah.
But for me, it just wasn't something like I could get down with.
Okay.
But I don't think I really have a good opinion
Gotcha.
on that.
For you two, right? If he's just your type physically, does he have to put in the same amount of effort as a guy you may see as a husband?
Absolutely. Because we're in LA. Everybody's good looking. So you're good looking and what? Like, what else you do?
Well, I'll say this though. I say on dating apps, from a dating app perspective though, most girls, if you put 10 guys in a room, I think a girl would swipe right maybe once or twice.
I can't really
I
answer that
barely
because I
find
don't really
anyone
need to use
attractive.
dating apps. So I feel like it's scary to use dating apps. I just feel like if I vibe with you in person and I like you, then that's kind of like I vibe with you. You know, it's more about like vibes. And if I really I got to see how you move. However you move is the same type of time I'm gonna be moving, respectfully.
So speaking of dating apps, who here has ever been on a dating app?
I mean, I have, yeah. Hinge.
Okay, 4. Okay, cool. So only person who has been on a dating app. So why haven't you ever just decided to go, you know what? I'm just gonna download Hinge?
I've just like her, never really hooked up with people. I've had
Okay.
like 2 serious relationships.
Gotcha.
One, I got married when I was 18.
Oh wow.
Yeah, to my high school sweetheart. And then I just ended like my first real adult relationship because I was like, I deserve better.
Okay.
So
You do.
I will start dating soon. I'm just
Okay.
not really sure because I'm very picky.
Okay.
And for me to actually want to have sex with someone, I have to actually like them.
Got you.
They have to put in work for sure.
I'm 100% on you because I kind of broke up with my ex and it was a really serious relationship. So when like people just want to hook up, I just feel like I don't really feel comfortable because I was so used to that one person.
Mhm.
So it's hard for me to really like. It's like, am I gonna sleep with you while I'm thinking about my ex?
Yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah.
Got you. So dating app. How was your when you were on dating apps? How was your dating app run? Was it fun?
I was the queen of Hinge.
Okay, the queen. Okay.
I-
All right.
Tell us your
was-
secrets.
I was an excellent dater.
Wow, excellent dater.
I just really was. I had my entire process of like how I would pick them.
The whole funnel.
I did. And I really knew like what I wanted out of a partner.
Mhm.
And I knew exactly what I wasn't and like was going to like stand for. And so like my standards of like the first date and then, you know, how we meet, I don't really care if we meet on a dating app because for me, I was like, I can see your name, all this information about you. I can, you know, use my FBI skills and find your Instagram and like whatever. And I feel like dating apps for me is a lot
Background
more
check.
It was a background check. Like I love how you're like you can vibe because for me I'm like in my head I'm like okay, who is this guy? Does he have a girlfriend? Da 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 da. Like I need to know like stuff before so like when we're talking I know if you're lying or not.
Got you.
And so
Go ahead.
my process was very
Honestly, Hinge was just like free entertainment when I was bored, because like some of the stuff they be saying to me is like so funny. It's just like, where do you come up with this kind of stuff? You think you're really trying to get me like this? It's not cute.
yeah, I definitely got some interesting messages on there too.
Oh, for sure.
Like people would be like, "Hey, you want to come over?" And I would just say no. They'd be like, "Why not?" And then you just unmatch them, and then they find your Instagram and like, "Oh, why did you unmatch me?" Because it hurts their ratio. By the way,
So as far as your dating app on Hinge for you, Morgan, were you, how I say this, did you ever use features where it allowed you to like make things even harder, like height or race or anything like that?
absolutely. There's so many. Okay. So if you have Hinge Premium, you can change and like filter out a ton of things. So I did height. I allowed 5'10" and up.
Which is fair. That's honest.
I
That's very
did.
fair.
I
That's very
did.
fair.
I was
Yeah.
okay with 5'10", but I also would not go out with anyone because I would ask them before our first date. I would be like, "How tall are you?" I'm wearing heels. And then
That's a good one to ask.
based on that response, because I would get guys that'd be like, "Oh, don't make them too high," or some people would be like, "I don't give a fuck, I'm confident," and I'd be like, "Okay, right there," like because you know height isn't everything to me, and then I only dated Middle Easterns. I'm actually married to one. So I got what I wanted. And so I filtered out Middle Easterns because that's my type. Tall, dark, and handsome. Oh, really? Wait, what? Azizam. I married an Afghan.
Middle Easterns, we love that.
I married an Afghan. I have a nafas. And then I had a specific area. So I put my location in Beverly Hills.
We love that.
Yeah,
because,
And so I got that because if you live in Beverly
Big
Hills.
ballers are.
Yeah, true.
Exactly. And so they would take me out to places in Beverly Hills. They would plan dates in Beverly Hills. And also, you know, it just was like that is an area of wealth, and you have to be very successful, I feel like, to live in that area. And I really wanted a really good businessman or someone who was really strong in his career as my husband, because I did date to marry. So I was very specific in what I wanted.
I have a quick question for you.
Go for
so
it.
where did you find your husband?
So fun fact, I actually told you guys this off camera.
Yeah.
I did not meet my husband on Hinge. I actually met him in a Whole Foods parking lot in Burbank when I accidentally love tapped him while backing out of my parking spot.
That's cute.
That is
It is.
really cute. I love that.
I'm about to go to that Whole Foods parking lot too.
Back into somebody.
I gotta go to Whole Foods. And literally it's a little disagreement we have to this day. I think I was already backing up and he walked behind my car. He said he was already walking behind my car and then I started backing up. But anyways, that's how we met.
Got you. So for dating apps for guys, man, so since I'm the only guy at this table, it's a bit different, right? So I think, in my opinion, girls are like the boss, right? And they have applicants, and they're looking through the applicants and tossing a lot of them in the trash, right? We're men. Now, I'm a bit different because I'm not going to lie. I'm just, sorry, I don't want to sound cocky, but I'm a handsome guy. Therefore, I can be a bit more selective, where some of my guy friends just love on every single girl's profile. It's like a spray and pray mechanism.
That's so gross.
But I feel like some hot, because I had these discussions with guys that I was dating, because I'm super open. I'll talk about anything. And so I would talk to a lot of them, and there were attractive men that I was talking to from dating apps and like dating, and we were both still on the apps, and they would like every single girl.
That's terrible.
It's a little cringe. That
is
was a
cringe.
red
Well,
flag
they just
for
want
them.
pussy. That's why they're not actually trying to find a girl.
That's why they didn't make. That's why they didn't make the
It's
cut.
gross.
But there are a lot of men that do that,
That's
and
crazy.
it's
Not
and
me. That's crazy.
you know. But that's some of them are picky like you,
True.
and then there are some extremely attractive, successful men that like everything with a vagina.
True.
Everything with a hole.
Yeah.
And-
Exactly. And I feel like you can tell though. I feel like you can tell like who's desperate and who's like not. Like I feel like it's easy because we're so experienced as females. We know like, okay, you're desperate. You're doing like a little too much. You know?
Yeah.
Got you. So, for guys, right? So we send out a bunch of likes, and then the match doesn't mean anything. Like you mentioned, like just the match. That's just step 1 of 4 or 5. Now you have to make her give you her number or Instagram. Then you go from Hinge to hopefully number for me in my case, and then now it's try to set a date up and then have her show up. So it's a whole
Whoa.
process for a guy. And they said like on dating apps, it's a Pareto principle. So 80% of women go for 20% of men. Therefore, a majority of guys don't get that many likes. So
I've heard that too.
Yeah. So if you
We was just talking about the stats.
Really?
It's so crazy
Yeah, it's
because
stats.
I heard like there's like an 80% of guys that like
just don't get much.
don't get laid, and then there's 20% that do, and those 20% are the guys that actually like worked for their like the way up. You know what I
True.
mean? To get like a girl.
And there were guys that were great that I matched with. We had great conversation. We moved to texting, and they were already planning the date.
Nice.
And then I got the ick, and I ghosted them.
Oh man,
You
that's what I'm
know,
saying
That's
too.
you're my twin.
You know,
That's what I do.
and
One little
We
thing.
can talk about ghosting later because I have a lot of thoughts on it. But and I felt bad for them.
Sure.
But at the same time, I hadn't met you. I don't owe you an explanation. And if you get the ick early, girls, please listen to
So
the ick.
it's,
Your gut.
Please listen to your gut.
Red flags. You know.
it sucks because it's like let's say a guy who's in that 80% who doesn't get a match as often, gets a match, gets a number. He's like, I'm on a hot streak. Hey, good morning, and never hear from her again and restart. So it's like
Wow.
it is
She's
shitty,
also
but
the queen of that.
yeah, true.
Literally same. You're my twin.
Yeah, so it's
I
like
need to pull up all of my old texts, like, because it's like how I would save them in my phone. It'd be like 11 good morning texts that morning.
Oh my gosh.
And I wouldn't save their number. Not and for a while because I wanted to if I recognized the number and I knew that the number was so and so, then you were talking to me the appropriate amount of time. If your number popped up and I couldn't remember who you were, I would stop talking to you because obviously you weren't texting me enough and making me enough like conversation before our date.
So
If you save the contact, they're important.
Exactly.
So speaking of texting icks, is there? I know one thing that guys do, and I tell them a lot on my TikTok and YouTube is I say don't get sexual till you've been sexual, meaning like don't make any type of sexual comment towards
I
her
agree.
until you've already done the deed. Because here's the thing: one time a girl did this, and I opened it to the floor. I know all you ladies have had this same experience.
And we're all different.
Yeah,
So I'm excited to hear this.
So
Me
basically,
too.
so a girl said like put out like a sexual innuendo where I easily could have took it and also said something sexual back. But I said, you know what? I think this is her like trying to bait me into something. So I didn't even go into it. On the date, she brought that up again. And I was like, I was trying to talk like spicy, like you weren't with it. I'm like, I know, but like I haven't done anything with you yet. Therefore, I'm not trying to go there. She's like, smart. Like it's almost as if she was trying to bait me into something and I didn't take it. So she kind of gained probably a little bit more respect for me.
Yeah.
But like you guys can probably easily talk about guys ruining it before it even starts for sure.
Because we run tests. Like, we want to see how you react to certain things. So we know how you react.
yeah.
That's crazy.
If someone had like a very like small sexual innuendo,
Yeah.
I would let it slide
Okay.
and I would ignore it. If they did it again, they were done. Because and then if it was really big, I would just ghost them. Like literally we would be in the middle of a conversation, they could say something like really bold and I would just stop replying because that's not what I want.
Yeah, no, literally. And it's like, you're not even really turning me on. You're just saying all these sexual things like
True.
I give.
It's just annoying.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
annoying. I'm like, it's like, get off my phone.
I feel like guys especially do it because of my job. They're like, they think I just want to fuck everybody. And I'm like, no. It's just gross.
Oh yeah, I think for sure. Like how I think how a lot of men's minds work. If they see you have a certain job, or
Yeah.
if they see you in like a certain light, it almost like opens up the door for them to go, okay, well I can treat her with less respect.
Yeah.
Like for
Yep.
example,
I
like
hate that.
let's say I'm scrolling through TikTok and I'll see like I don't know a porn star at AVN like that convention, and they'll talk about how the fans will legit start groping them.
Oh, they do. It's horrible.
Yeah.
They grab your ass and I'm like, no.
It's crazy.
you.
So a lot of guys definitely screw up with that. But anything
Yeah.
else that guys do besides the sexual innuendos over text that give you the ick? Anything else?
With me, I'm very like, if you do one little thing that like turns me off, or I'm just like, what are you saying? I'm cutting you off.
Oh, I have one.
What is
Like,
that?
you're mad
So
annoying.
for modeling on my Instagram, I have a lot of like lingerie pics. I have my link in my bio. It's like discreetly hidden. But if you go on my Instagram and I recognize you from a dating app or we've met or whatever, and you're only liking lingerie pics, ick.
You know what's interesting? So speaking of that, back to dating apps real quick. Girls even said this too. They'll have 6 photos. And if the photo they have is them half naked and that's the only one you like, then they still won't match with you.
Yep. I had like one bikini-ish pic, but I was like, it wasn't like, whatever. But you got to put your body out there a little
Okay.
bit. You got to get some,
Yeah.
you got to get them intrigued a little bit, but
For
it
sure.
doesn't, I never like to make it too loud.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, if that's the one they like, they're like, wow, like so hot. And I'm like, ugh.
Got you. I'm going to go back to the list here. So have you guys heard about the 48 oyster girl?
No.
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 No, damn. Okay, so this happened 3 weeks ago, but I'm gonna bring it up because we need to talk about it on the show yet. So the 48 Oyster Girl. So I'm gonna give you guys the context. It was a voiceover as she's recording dinner. Okay, she walked into the restaurant, and the voiceover says, "There's this guy that's been blowing up my phone for the past month or two. I was bored and I was hungry, so I said, screw it, let's meet for drinks." She gets to the restaurant and she begins to order tray after tray, I think 8 trays of oysters, which was 48 in total. Okay. And she's recording herself eating them and slurping them and everything, all on the video. And then on top of that, looked at the guy and goes, okay, well, what are you ordering for an entree? After 48,
Oh my gosh.
after 48 oysters. So she ordered an entree. And then the guy, now this could have been fake, but who knows, was going off the video, actually got up and went to the bathroom and never came back. Left her with the bill. Okay? So in that aspect, was she wildin'? Was he wildin'? What's going on with 48 Oyster Girl?
I don't blame him.
Oh, you don't blame him. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
I don't either. Like, you're ordering 48. Like, what is wrong
That
with
is a little
you? You're
weird.
actually trying to get famous, and it clearly worked.
It
so
worked.
we're talking about
It worked. It worked.
But like, girl, come on, what is wrong with you?
Also, they're not
you're
cheap.
weird.
Oh, it's
They're not cheap.
I
and I
wouldn't-
love oysters.
Yeah, same.
so-
I wouldn't do that to anyone.
No.
I wouldn't either. Like, I mean, she wanted to be famous. Let's be
and
honest.
she got it.
Yeah.
So you think so? The guy was in the right for just going. You know what? I'm
Of
over
course.
this.
I don't
Yeah,
blame him
she
for
gave
leaving
the
her
big red flag.
at
I
all.
would have done the same thing. I would have been like, or I would have actually like said something, and be like, dude,
After
Yo.
the
Doing
like
a little
second one, I would have been like, oh,
Wait, have you guys ever had a guy walk out on you on a date?
no.
I haven't either.
I've walked out on 2.
Really?
Please tell us.
Ooh.
All right. So
I want to know.
So basically, these weren't like your formal dates, though. They weren't dinner dates. So I'll make this one quick. I met up with this girl because I saw she was at a bar. I said, yo, are you at Goat Hill? She said, yeah, I'll come through. So but me and her been talking, though. So we're escalating things to maybe something serious. Then she goes, this bar is boring. Let's go to this other bar where there's a dance floor and a DJ. I'm like, bet, let's do it. We go there together. Now, mind you, this girl built like a number 8, mind you. Just you know what I'm saying? So she's throwing it back. Got the whole club looking at me like, damn, bro, you like, good for you. All of a sudden, she stops throwing it back. I'm like, all right, cool, taking a break. I get it. You know, you had your hands on your knees. I get it. And she goes off to another guy in front of me,
Oh.
within arm's reach.
Hell
And now
no.
from my angle, she kissed him.
What?
Now she denies it to this day, but she kissed him. So I went like this and went and just left. So 5 minutes later, she goes, "Where'd you go?" I'm like, "All right, you should have that guy take you home." And she starts trying to call me, and I'm not trying to answer because, like, for me, I don't like talking to people when I'm like at my peak upset because I'll say something I
Yeah.
regret. So I said, let me just like get down to 0 and call her tomorrow with like calm voice. But yeah, I've walked out another chick too. That one's not as climactic. So this one was my favorite one. Walked out. I had to for my respect, for my dignity. I had to walk out.
Yeah.
I
I've
think,
walked out on a few.
Yeah,
Really?
definitely.
Oh,
Trust me.
yeah.
I've treated. Yeah.
so what was your walkout story?
So I had matched. So he was an ER surgeon for UCLA.
Wow.
Persian. I was like, you know what? He's a little bit older than I would like, but
5 years older, 10 years older?
I'm not gonna give away my age. Maybe closer to 10.
Wow, decade. Okay.
Like eight
Okay,
to 10,
okay,
I think. And but he was really nice over text. He was extremely appropriate, and I
Okay.
was like, you know what, this would be a great husband. Great, I could get that fantasy life, like, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Whatever. We get there, and he's a little too touchy feely at first.
Ooh, no.
Which
Damn,
I
messed
am
up.
very like
Yep.
respect my space on the first date unless I initiate. If a girl initiates, then go for it. But if she does not initiate, respect it. All of a sudden, he's like all over me, and he starts talking about I drive an Aston Martin or whatever the fuck it's called, and you know I have this and I have that, and I was just like I don't care, and trying to order everything on the menu, and Olivetta is not cheap, so I was like that's cool, but like this is kind of a waste at this point. Like they brought an extra table, and he was just being absurd.
Ah, okay.
I went up to the bathroom, and he was just getting kind of like louder and louder. And he was disrespectful to our server. I was fucking pissed. Do not be rude to the waitstaff. I got my ass up. I walked over to the server. I tipped her on my own. I went up to the general manager because he was standing right there because he was like, "Oh, ma'am, are you lost?" I was like, "Actually," I was like, "I'm on a horrible first date. I need you to get me out of here." And he took me through the kitchen, out the back, waited for me while I waited on my Uber, and did not let anyone talk to him, like told everyone to ignore him. And then after I'd gotten my Uber, he goes, "Okay, now I'll tell him you've gone." Fun fact, I also now work back in the industry in LA, and I ran into him, and he was like, "Why did you leave?" This was literally a couple weeks ago. I
wow,
ran
damn.
into him. I never texted him. He like blew my phone up. Ran into him, and he was like, "Why did you leave?" And I told him. He goes, "I wasn't that bad." And I was like, "Yeah, you were. You were absolutely horrible."
Wow. Anyone else got a walkout story?
I mean, I have a lot, but that one was pretty intense.
I have a lot.
But I could actually talk about this. Was actually like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I don't mind saying it. Okay, so I know this guy who's Persian, right? And I've known him for like 5 years. So I haven't seen him in these 5 years. It's my first time. Like I just kept him around because I'm like, okay, when I'm like ready to settle down with somebody, he looks like my potential. 6'2", 6'3", Persian, everything, right? I'm like, perfect. My family would like 100% accept him. So, it's like obviously like spooky season. I wanted to go to Universal Studios. So I'm like, okay, he's cute. Like, I like his Instagram pictures. So basically, he paid for everything. He gets a ticket. He
Wow.
drives all the way. I'm not gonna say what city, but he drives to like downtown to pick me up everything in a G-Wagon, all that, right? Pays for all the tickets. We go to Universal. He gets out of the car, and I'm like, I don't like this guy.
Damn.
I just don't like him.
For what? What do you do?
Wow.
I just didn't like him.
Did you get the ick?
Yeah.
Oh,
So then after that, so it's funny. So I'm like, you know what? I don't even like smoke like that. I'm like, let me just get high to just like get
Numbness.
this night like
Okay.
numb it. And I try FaceTiming my best friend. I'm like, girl, can you come up with an excuse I can leave? So he was like, and we got like literally like he wanted to get fast and tickets. He's literally paying people so we can like cut in line, doing everything, getting me all types of like desserts, everything. I'm just like, I just don't like you, and I just feel bad. And we're in public.
You tell him this?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
And
Damn.
I said, can we go home? Like I'm tired.
Oh,
So we.
So you say it like that. You
I
didn't
say it
s-
like that, but I did text
Oh,
him.
I thought you said I don't like you into his face. I'm
But
like,
20
damn.
minutes later, I was like, yeah, I gotta go home. Sorry. So all the money he spent, it just went to waste. And this was literally recently.
Mm.
It's a cold world, fellas. It really
I just
can
didn't
be.
like
It's a
it. What a
cold
woman
world.
It is a
supposed to
cold
do?
world, but guys are cold to us, so let's
Oh,
not
true.
forget about that.
Exactly.
You want to know why we're cold? It's because you have 15 bitches in your phone telling them they're beautiful every morning.
Or they got kids and a baby mama at home.
Yeah.
That too. I never actually had that problem, but my friends have. And yeah, it's mostly like the girlfriend that they're pretending is the ex-girlfriend. It's
Oh.
been my problem.
Oh yeah, no. But also he was touching me and stuff too. So you're already like, bro, we're in public. It's my first time seeing you. At least just take it slow, get to know me. You're already putting your hands on me. It's like giving me like, get away from me. I don't even like you like that.
It sounds like,
Took
both
5 years.
both parties are both saying, fellas, if you touch on the first date too much, you may ick her out for the date even starts.
Oh, definitely.
Literally.
The date
But
even.
it's not about the body, it's about the mind. Get to know us for real, because like we can be very fascinating. As females, we're very powerful. So like, don't just look at us and be like, oh yeah, I'm just trying to tap that, because we can see that.
Oh, and I
obviously.
don't mean like all touch either. There's like little things you can do. So like if we're walking into the restaurant and they're opening the door and they kind of like have the thing on the back that's very, very, very gentle. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
attractive.
okay.
Yeah, I like
Okay,
that.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying like
How do you feel about when they kiss your hands?
I like that.
Yeah.
it depends on the guy.
Okay.
If they like look like they should be doing that, then yes.
If they look
And
like
also
they
Yeah.
how they do it. I feel like some
Yeah.
guys can do it and it comes across like really creepy.
Oh.
And then
Yeah.
it's very natural for some men.
Yeah.
If it's somebody that I'm like, oh my god, you're so attractive, and he does that, I might get little butterflies.
Yeah.
It's about the certain type. Okay.
Mhm.
Got you. So, do you think social media made dating easier or harder?
Easy.
Easy for sure, unless you go through the DMs. I mean, yeah, just depends.
I say harder.
And then, how are you?
I don't know. I mean, like to find someone probably easier, but if you're dating somebody, I feel like social media destroys relationships.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely
I agree.
good.
Yeah.
Which is why I had
Yeah.
my husband delete all of his social media.
Oh, he's a good man. That
good.
is really
No,
fucking
I was
rare.
like,
Wow.
I'm, sometimes a little crazy comes out.
Yeah.
And I was like, who's this girl? And he was like, oh, this is my cousin. I was like, and he was like, his sister was there, and she's like, no, literally, like, look, this is our cousin. And then he was like, is this like been like a problem for you in the past? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, okay, so what if I just delete my Instagram? And I was like, that would be great. And he deleted
That's
it
a real
right
man. That's a real man.
then. He was like, why do I need it? He goes, if I need to go on Instagram, I can use your phone. I was like, yeah, you can.
Girl, you better keep him, because
Uh-huh.
nowadays,
I
That's
am.
like so unheard of. That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's very like unheard of. I just feel like, I feel like I got mature, because with my ex, I used to be crazy, like crazy. So now I just feel like, just tell me the truth. I don't care if it's good or bad. I'd rather get over the truth than a lie. Just don't lie. You lie to me, it's over with.
Got you. So,
You know?
I have much more respect if you are like, yeah, I fucked that girl last night.
Definitely.
I have much more respect if you just tell me rather than just lie about it.
so,
Yeah.
so Morgan's man deleted his Instagram. So, hey, props to him. But which any of you ladies delete yours?
No, it's my business.
No, it's my job.
It's my
Yeah.
business.
No.
My personal one, I don't have a personal Instagram. I just have my.
But I
That
don't,
one, no.
I'm not really active personally on my Instagram. It
Either.
really is just all business. And if he wanted to, he could have it on his phone, and I don't need to
Okay.
have it on mine.
But my ex did delete my Instagram and TikTok, so I just started one. So now that's just psycho at this point. I had 1.2 million on TikTok.
No.
Yeah, 1 million. That's wild. Like deleting at one point. You actually worked hard for
psycho.
that, actually.
Yeah.
So I feel
a lot
like
of work.
at this point, I'm not even gonna mess with a guy. You know, I'm never gonna really give my passwords like that. I feel like they would understand why. You know.
Gotcha.
I also feel like, even though I did say like I would give my husband my password, there's no reason for any, like, I feel like if you're in a relationship or you're dating someone, I stand by the fact that you should never need to go through your partner's phone.
That's
Ever.
a tough one.
You can do it if you want to,
yeah.
but it never ends
Wait,
well.
never
It
ends well.
never ends well.
Never ends
I
well.
agree with you. Yeah. People, everybody, do not give your passwords to anybody. Don't trust anybody to that certain extent. Because from my experience, did not end up well at all.
Got you.
know?
So for social media, right? I think there's pros of dating and cons. That the pros now, a girl who lives in, I don't know, Wisconsin can now link up with a guy in LA and they can become happy ever after. Versus before, you just dated in your city, right? So any of you guys ever talked to a guy that's like in a different state, different country? Anyone here?
Yeah.
Kind of. My ex and I did international long distance.
International.
Long distance.
Same. I
state
did
lines.
international too, but I wasn't really loyal.
See,
This
that
Sean
was
is-
my problem. I was.
I was.
I mean, I wasn't. I was kind of being honest. I'm like, if you move here, he was actually from Brampton, and I still miss him. But I'm like, if you move here, yeah, what do you want me to do? Not be like loyal to you? I'm gonna keep my options open. We're not dating. I'm single. But I kind of miss him still.
I'm dead.
Got you. So also the social media, like I think what she mentioned was, for example, you're dating somebody and that person, so for you guys, a guy posts a photo, then Big Booty Latina comments fire. Right now you're on her profile, like doing your
Yeah.
FBI research. Now it's stress, right? So I think there's pros of meeting people, but the cons are it kind of creates insecurities within us.
Definitely.
Kind of.
Explain.
It's so hard. I feel like all the men before I met my husband, yes, I would be stalking her from my stalker account.
Yeah.
But when like my husband did have his Instagram and people would comment, I didn't really think too much of it
Okay.
because he was my I am so confident in that relationship and our communication because we set so many boundaries when on our first date. Like literally on our first date, we had so many boundaries. So I think it depends on the person because I never had that before. But before, yeah, I was crazy. That was great. Now I don't care. Girls will come up to him when we're out, and I love it. I sit back and watch because I'm like, yeah, he's hot. Try it.
That's me. I don't know why. I feel like now I kind of think it's attractive if girls are like trying to get at my man.
Right?
I want the comments. Cause I'm like, girl, you're not in his bed at night. I mean, I'm single. I'm not in anyone's bed.
I feel
but
like
you know
it's
what I mean?
called
Like,
maturity.
So real
Yeah,
quick,
definitely.
I think
love it now.
you two girls that said something. Now I'm gonna say it a bit differently, but there are girls that say if he can't get no bitches, I don't want him anyway. And you guys just commented if girls are commenting on his page, you guys actually don't mind it anymore, or
So
explain.
okay, so let's see if you agree with me because I'm actually interested to see this.
Okay.
I always wanted a man that every girl wanted,
Yep.
but he was
only wants you.
inaccessible
Yeah.
to any of them. So like my husband only had like 2 girlfriends and girls were constantly trying to get with him and he doesn't have a big body count. Like he was very unattainable.
Okay.
And I got him. So he's like more of a prize to me because it's like, I won.
period.
Do you know what I mean?
I 100%
Like they
agree
want
with
him,
you.
but they could never have him.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think it's really attractive. Like, I'm like, dang, like all these girls want you. Like, who are you? I like
Yes,
that.
Yes.
So is that have to do with social media and in person? Like, so you walk into like their first date and you're looking at women and you see them like all
Yes.
turning.
Yes, I
So
agree.
you actually like that.
Yeah, we like that. I like
wow,
it. At
okay.
least I do.
The
Yeah.
guy is like being disrespectful and
Of course,
giving them
looking for
attention,
it.
then it's like
Sure.
But I
but
think
if
it
a girl
works
just
both
likes
ways
him,
too.
yeah.
It does work both ways. I absolutely hate desperate guys. I can't do it. If you're
Yeah.
too touchy, if you're saying like beautiful every single second, like stop. You're annoying.
Or if you're like sending a fire emoji to every girl's story.
Every star.
Yeah, like you're just like get out of
bad.
here. We know you're not popping. Clearly.
No.
Clearly. So let's go back to the topic of deleting Instagram because that's a good one. So let's just say I were to say a girl should delete hers over the man. I'll say why. When girls post photos, it's inbound leads. For me, to get girls, I actually have to DM them to get their attention. So what's your response to, like, that type of logic?
Girls shoot DMs first too.
It's
Yeah.
just, so I get them too, but like they're like a 4 out of 10 or 3 out of 10. I'm talking like the
Oh.
baddies don't shoot as often.
I think it's a power move if I did it 1st. I'm in control. So I would always
Same.
try to do it first.
I would, yeah. If I want something, I'm like, I'm a slide in their DMs.
Now,
And
we
I
actually
don't really
message them or
care.
just like follow or like a photo. That's different.
No, I will message and say hi.
Okay.
Oh, I'd be interested to go to dinner with you sometime.
I would
you
just say hi.
Straight to their DM? You say that?
Like, hey.
Yeah. Because
number.
I never got to know. Because
Yeah, I've never got curved either.
Because can you imagine if I slid in your DMs and I was like, hey, I'd love it if we could go to dinner sometime? You'd be like, holy.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, wow, the balls on this girl. Like,
Yeah.
let's do it. Always worked. Always worked.
No, I'm gonna use
Shot
that
never
little
missed.
trick,
Shot-
man.
Because then they would do the whole, well, I can't let you pay. Like, that's just not the kind of man I am, because they have to get their ego back, and like the manliness back, because they didn't ask me first. So, there's ways to date, ladies. There's so many ways to date, and I was
yeah.
the queen of it.
Got you.
What's your sign?
I'm a Libra girl.
Okay, I'm a Taurus. Because I'm like,
I'm a Taurus too.
You're a
When's your
Taurus?
birthday?
We are the
April
romantic
28th.
love
Oh,
ones.
mine's May 18th.
okay, I like that. I like both of you guys.
Wait, what's your sign?
I'm a Sag.
My
Oh,
mom's a Sag.
So would any of you?
My
so
ex-boyfriend's is one of them.
I'ma see here.
Men are toxic.
they're the life of the party, though.
They are.
Some
They're
of my
fun.
some of my best guy friends are Sagittariuses, and I'm like, they always know where the party is.
What's your sign?
I am a Gemini, but a May one. Of course,
Ooh,
It makes a big
I know
difference.
how you
It does
guys
make a
work. I
difference.
actually like Geminis.
Okay, there you go. That's what's
I'm
up.
a, you know, I,
So
a
speaking,
little Gemini
I think
me.
this question goes well with our conversation. So you can have both. You gotta pick one. Either A, rich man, but he's just not as present, working a lot, on the road, right? It can be your anniversary dinner. Hold on, babe. So and so's calling. Or average income, you're $50,000-$60,000 a year, but he's very much so present, and he's more emotionally there. Starting with you.
Oh. Well, who is he answering the phone for? Is
He-
it for work?
It's for work, yeah. So he's very much in his work. And
I don't want either of them.
Okay. I know everyone wants the perfect match of both, but if you had to choose one or the other,
Quick question: can you be involved into his work?
no. Like you're
Do
you- basically if okay, I'll make it even better. If you choose average income guy, you're also working. But, some medium tier. Like
do I
you're-
have kids in this scenario?
No kids.
Well, if I was going to have children with this person, I would prefer the man that has money so I can send my children to the best school and give them the best health care and the best food
Okay.
and best quality of life.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I do really value when someone's emotionally there, though.
I know it's hard to have both, but I'm saying,
Yeah.
You can have both.
I know it's possible.
You could definitely have both.
I know it's possible, but
Yeah.
for the sake of the discussion.
But living in California with only making $50,000 a year is really horrible.
Yeah, it's a little apartment.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
So just go rich.
I don't know if I can choose. If I had children, yes. But I have to love the person. If I love the guy, then it's, yeah.
So if you love him, you'll go average
If I was like in
income?
love with him, then yes. I'm not just gonna like be with someone because I have money.
True.
So
How about yourself?
So I'm in this situation, and it's he works 24/7. Like
Oh, damn.
he has so many businesses. He's always working, but he is excellent at making our time. I know exactly when our time is. I know exactly what we're doing, and we both do little effort on both sides. So even though even though we live together, I may not actually physically see him for 3 days because he's
Oh.
coming and going. I'm coming and going. But, I have his breakfast made for him in the morning. He has dinner laid out for me. XYZ. There's flowers. There's gas in my car. I'm like, oh, wow, he just went up and got gas this morning while he was drinking his coffee. There's like little things to make it work. But he's always busy. So it's not dinner together every night.
True. So that's actually a great breakdown. How about yourself? Average income or the rich guy?
I will 100% pick the rich guy because I respect the hustle. I respect the
Yeah.
hustle. I like my
Yeah.
space. Like I said, I think I said this in the other conversations. I hate guys that are clingy. I dealt with it too much to the point where they harass me, and I'm like, dude, like stop. You're
Yeah.
doing too much. What is wrong with you? You know, 100% rich guy. I like my space. You doing you. I'm doing me. We see when we see each other. If I miss you, I'll call you. But
Yeah.
as long as there's no cheating involved, we're good. I'll be loyal to you. You be loyal to me. 100% rich guy. There's not even a question to that.
What about yourself?
It's low-key hard. I mean, I'm all about the wholesome vibes, and
Yeah, of
like,
course.
if you're an average guy, we can hustle together. Like, we can make it work. On God, like, we can get this bag and all this shit. You don't have to have it before I meet you. Like, we can get it for real together.
See, I want to say something to that. I feel like, why should I work with you? You should have been already, especially we're adults. Like, why should I?
I should have been that guy before I met you.
And that's
My
why we have
family's
standards of
successful.
dating.
Exactly. Like, my family's successful. My grandma, we own land. They worked their ass off.
Yeah, girl, you're Persian. I know.
Exactly. So I'm like, you're telling me that, oh, some shit happened? Oh, yeah, I caught a case. I did this. That's bullshit. You're not the guy for me. Get moving.
Yeah, a lot. It's one of those things where it's just a hard truth. Like a lot of girls would prefer to move in than build with you. And of course, some girls will say, "Well, we'll build." Honestly, a girl's more attracted to a guy that already has it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it depends which age we're talking because
True.
since I'm
18,
pretty
19,
young.
yeah, true.
Like if it's like right now and you're building something, I will for sure be there with you. But at the end of it, if you're still not rich, there's something wrong.
It's still not. Got you.
That's true. It's all about the age.
Could you guys be with somebody your mom didn't approve of?
No.
Yes.
No.
No, I
yes.
can't do it.
No.
No.
Okay. So for
No.
the no's, why is it important that if you actually you want to respect her decision?
Well,
Go.
maybe yeah.
Okay. Now, so you said you would not, or you would marry someone if your
I would
mom-
marry someone if my mom did not like them.
So break it down as to why.
Well, I feel like this question also is difficult for me.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense because everyone else probably has a better relationship with their parents than
Ah,
I
I
do.
see. That makes sense.
But like, yeah, so it doesn't really matter to me. I feel like I've been like my own parent most of my life.
Mhm.
So my opinion is the only thing that matters. And like, they're not going to be married to this person. I lived with this person every day, this and that.
Got you.
I don't know.
Yourself?
So I would not get married without my mom's approval, but I have dated against my
Okay.
mom.
That
Okay.
Opinion.
part.
Okay, that part.
And you know what? And she was we are very close.
That's good.
We have a great relationship. Was not that way for a very long time, but she's like, you know what? You're going to stick with this one, and when you are learning your lesson about him, you can call me because you're going to need me at the end of this.
Wow.
And she has never been wrong.
My mom says the same thing.
Would you marry somebody your mom said no?
I definitely need my mom's approval 100%. That's like my best friend. I have her birthday tatted on me. My dad, I really don't care what he says. But that's like, I don't even ask him for permission.
Yeah.
Definitely my mom because she's been through a lot. She's experienced. She knows what's right, Dating wise, especially at the age I'm at right now, she doesn't need to know.
That makes sense.
But marriage wise, I mean, I would ask her why she doesn't like him, and she's probably right. So she should probably listen.
Got you. So I want to dig into your career a little bit. And how is it dating as a girl on OnlyFans for you?
OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Well, for me, when I did OnlyFans, it was different than when I did mainstream
What's mainstream?
porn.
Oh,
like,
porn.
like
Got
shooting
you.
for companies.
Got you.
Because for OnlyFans, I mostly did like girl stuff or solos
Okay.
or stuff with like my boyfriends. But then when I did porn, like you have to shoot with people, just random guys that you aren't really attracted to, that the studio sets it up with. And like
got
you know these people, and it's definitely weird. But the only person I've dated when I was doing that was my ex, and he got really jealous to where he would like be depressed in bed, and I was like, "What are you doing?" So then I had him join, and then I created a monster, and yeah, it was fucking horrible.
Okay, so I have so many questions.
Yeah.
Why does a guy? I almost am talking to him. As long as I'll talk to him. Why are you gonna go date a girl you know does this and then get depressed?
No, I know, it was so annoying. I was like, okay,
Makes no sense.
and I treated it as work. Like I didn't
Yeah.
message anybody, and it was obvious I didn't like them, and I like, it was different. But then when he joined, he treated it like he was being worshipped by these girls or something. Like he was like
his ego took over.
yeah,
Oh,
and,
for
it's-
sure.
and then he wasn't doing it for the money anymore. He was just doing it to like get the attention. And I was like, I cannot do this. Like I want my bag. I'm
You
doing
created a
this for
monster.
money. You are doing it for other reasons.
I feel
Goodbye.
like they love
yeah.
the money that we bring in, and
yeah.
they may or may not love the tricks and experience and the things that we're comfortable with, because we tend to be more comfortable than the average female. But then they also want to be controlling, and I'm like, you cannot have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, you can't go give the sex
Yeah.
work.
It's a
right
hard job as a woman to do this, and then when you're the person that's supposed to support you and love you the most in the world isn't doing that and is like
I
actually
agree.
creating even more issues for you, it's just really unhealthy.
And I feel like for you, it's more like I respect everybody's hustle. So it's like you know what you're stepping into. Either respect it, how are you going to change it? Because you have your own, hustle and like business, whatever you're doing, and you're doing it for business. It's not like you're really like doing it because like, oh yeah, I'm going to find this person. So it's like he should have already known like what you're working with, like what you're working with. You know what I mean? Like
Something that he did, the first time I ever met his mom, he got out of his car because we were like picking up his car and had me sitting there alone with her and told her, you should convince her not to do porn anymore. And that was the most uncomfortable, awkward conversation I've ever had with somebody.
What the fuck? Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it was really,
No.
it was really weird. I was like, I'm
Good.
yeah. I was like, I just want to get out of here. This is
no, literally. And first of all, why are you asking your mom? That's like you're an
Yeah.
adult. That's
Yeah.
weird.
It was really
You're
weird.
asking the mom, like
Very
you're really gonna listen to the mom. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. You're not.
It was
respectfully.
It was crazy.
Now, I know you have conversations about this with them where it's like, okay, how did he think this was going to go? He comes in and saves you and takes you out of porn and like makes you a housewife?
He didn't even have a job really. He was living
There we
like,
go.
yeah, and then I was like,
There we
okay,
go.
because I was really young and I like just got out of college and I moved to LA and I was like, I had no friends really, and I was like, I just dated him at first because we were friends and the sex was good, and then he started having feelings for me, and so then I was like, okay, I have feelings for you too, and then it got like really messy.
Damn. So it's like,
Yeah, I just thought he would
no,
level
hold
up,
on.
you know?
When you guys met, were you doing OF or big industry stuff?
I was in OF, and then we were kind of talking, and he was like, you should definitely do porn. Yes, I totally
So he
agree.
pushed you to do it.
Yeah.
Now I'm even more
And then I
confused.
did
It's
it.
always the ones that
Yeah.
push you that are like, wait,
Yeah.
never mind.
What the?
Yeah,
And then they're against it after. So it's like
That make no
so,
sense.
Yeah.
No, it did not make any sense, and I was really annoyed at that.
Wow.
I feel like if he was rich, then he could have had to say like, "Oh yeah,
For
don't do it."
sure.
Yeah,
But like, if he's
Yeah.
broke, then,
Stay-
like, what the
stay
If
fuck?
down.
I'm the one, like, if I'm the breadwinner in the relationship, then no.
Yeah.
Like, don't say anything. You have no opinion.
Like, are you
No
bringing
opinion.
this much money to the table? Why? Why should I do it?
I love that.
It would
No
have been
opinion.
fine if he was like at least trying, but he wasn't putting in any effort to like become a better version of himself, and that's very unattractive.
Do you think he was basically
flag.
leeching off of you?
In a way, yeah,
Damn.
for sure.
They always do.
Yeah. I've called him out, and he says he wasn't, but I'm like,
Well, I'll say this, ladies, weigh in on this. There's some girls who I consider and they're feminine where they only want to date men who are at the top. Then there are
Yeah.
girls out there who see men as like damsel in distress. You have no job, you have no car, but with me, I'll take you and I'll make you into a working citizen again. And you girls ever had that
No.
phase in your life?
Yeah.
yeah. When I
It's
was
not our
when I
job.
was younger,
Unfortunately.
but no.
Damn.
No, yeah, I have too, and especially because like I loved him and everything, so I was willing to stay. But then you started getting controlling towards me, like, bro.
I helped
First
you.
of all, I helped you, so now you want to be big baller. Okay, yeah, maybe because I told you what to do.
Also, I feel like because I went through that, that's why my standards of dating someone who can afford me are there. Because I don't want to baby another one.
We have to
It's
run
not
for the
my
little
job
one.
to make you a man.
No.
That part.
Got you.
Yeah,
But
you
at
shouldn't
the
be his
same
mom.
time,
It's not
I agree.
cool.
If somebody really just like, I feel like for me to catch feelings nowadays is really hard. So if you really did something for me to catch feelings, I'm low-key down and be there for you. I know I said I prefer the rich guy, but if you really get me emotionally, you won. Because I don't have any emotions lately.
And lately,
So, like, yeah, you cool, but
Okay.
I don't really care for you.
got you. So so back to your life. This is interesting. So you said, went from OF to big corporations, right? Do you still do both, or you just have one?
I do both, but this last year I took a break from shooting for companies because he was just making it so horrible. When I
Okay.
was like just living with him, I would come home and he'd like ignore me or just be like, "Oh, did you come on set today? Oh, you're shooting
wow.
for Blacked. Oh, his dick is bigger than mine." My boyfriend or my ex had a big dick, so I'm like to where it would actually hurt, and I was like, Why do you care if someone's dick is bigger for a shoot? Like, it actually hurt me. It didn't even feel good. So it's like,
Damn,
Really
this is wild.
interesting.
Okay.
yeah,
Wow.
I don't understand why men want bigger dicks if they're already big.
Yeah, I'm not into the big dick thing.
I mean, you should use your dick.
I'm good with like a step above average.
Okay.
Because if it starts hurting me, I literally had a great guy. His dick was too big, so I ghosted him.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Did ghosting
It
exist?
didn't feel. I was like, I just don't want this to be my forever dick. Like it's just. It's a lot of work to make it feel good.
There's so many ways of having pleasure than just dick.
Yeah, they need to be able
Yeah.
to eat you
And
out.
he wasn't really
too.
great at the other one, so I
Well,
was like, pass.
No.
There's this girl I know. Her name is Kazumi, and she
I love
calls
Kazumi.
big dick like birthday dick. Like I want it like once or
And
twice
then
a
there's
year.
boyfriend
Right.
dick.
But I don't. But boyfriend consistency, I want
Mhm.
average. or
Yeah,
low
boyfriend dick
bit.
is way better. Yeah.
Because it's not about sex. I mean, it is, but it isn't.
I agree. It is, but it
It is, but it
isn't.
My future
Yeah.
partner has to be really good at sex, or no, I can't.
Yeah, but for me, it's like I'm really into foreplay.
Well, yeah,
if you
that's,
don't know
that's
what
a
the
part
hell
of
you're
sex,
doing and
though,
all
I
you
feel
know how
like.
to do is wham bam, thank you,
Yeah.
ma'am.
A lot
You
of
gotta
guys,
go.
they'll do. I'm kissing the neck twice and then stick.
No, ew.
And okay, the guys that
Yeah,
are like
that's how my ex
quiet
was.
during sex, I don't like.
You want me to start singing like Mariah Carey? in there?
No, not
I
singing,
love
but
when
like.
a guy moans. So
I
hot.
like it when a guy
Like, when his
moans,
eyes are rolling
too.
back in his head, I'm like, it's so hot.
So you want him to be vocal and like,
Yeah, because when I see you're turned on, that turns me on more, and then when I see you're about to come, that makes me come, and it's just like,
I like the little whispering thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you know, it turns me on more. You're just fucking quiet. And it's just like, okay.
That's
and
like-
then what?
they're just trying to stay masculine, you know? Like there's something masculine about a man going, huh? He's just trying to be like,
Look at that. No, but I'm saying like a little bit though. Like I say, I like facial expressions and stuff
Okay,
like that. If
facial
you're just
expression,
like
okay.
quiet the whole time.
It's the for me.
yeah.
It's
when they get like animalistic and are like, I don't know. There's
It's
some
little
guys do
It's
it.
so like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Nice.
It just like depends. Yeah.
I feel that. Now, why do you think guys have this stigma where they think attractive girls are stuck up?
Because we are. In a way.
Uh,
In a way.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people think I'm really mean, but I'm not.
You do have an RBF.
Yeah, everyone says that, and,
Yeah.
and then they meet me and they're like, "You're actually the sweetest person I've ever met." And I'm like, "I'm just shy too at first, so
Okay.
if I come off as a bitch, but I'm not."
People think I'm a bitch, and I'm a bitch.
I love that.
So,
though.
so they assumed and they were right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm really nice too, but to men, I demand respect, and you need to talk to me a certain way. You need to speak to me a certain way. You need to look at me a certain way. And if you don't, then, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you.
So, for example, back when you were single, and let's say at Starbucks, a guy cold approach. How, are you like receptive to it, or like just thanks and just kind of like? digging in there?
To be honest, I'd probably ignore him.
Like he was like, hey, you just not.
I just kind of like look, because I'm not. Why are you talking to me? I don't know you. This is Los Angeles. It is not safe out here, and you do not touch me. I am very aggressive back to men. Like if there are people that'll like try to touch me in the store or whatever, I'm like, don't fucking touch me. Because
Literally.
you
We're so
have
crazy
to nowadays.
True.
You didn't used to have to be that way, but now I feel like I have to. I'm like, don't fucking touch me. And they're like, oh, sorry. And I try to ignore them because a lot of the places that men will cold talk to me, I don't know. I'm not interested. Starbucks, no. When I'm trying to cross the street, no.
Whole Foods.
Whole Foods is a special place in my heart.
Erewhon. That's the better one.
Erewhon?
Oh, I like it. Yeah.
So, I'll say this: the reason why I think attractive girls are a bit stuck up and not so receptive sometimes, is my opinion, is when you get so much attention and so much validation, you almost don't want it anymore.
There's also a level of prettiness where people are too scared to talk to you, though.
Yes.
This is true. That-
Yeah.
I feel like we don't talk about that enough.
That's true.
We
Yeah.
don't. Yeah. No,
I-
I agree.
Like there were a lot of men when I was dating that I was really interested in that I felt like didn't give me the time of day, or they were just like, why me? And I'm like, probably because you're so not interested.
No,
Oh my
that's
God.
literally.
Yeah.
It's like, why the fuck do you not want me?
That's.
Everybody
like-
wants me. Like that kind of mindset, you know?
Absolutely.
I kind of want to go back on what you said because I feel like you're right. Because since I do get so much attention, it's like
Doesn't mean much.
it's kind of like annoying now. You know what I mean? Just
Also,
be
it's
chill.
the wrong attention.
The wrong
You
attention.
get that a lot where it's like, you know that men, they just want to fuck you. And I'm like, do you want to take me to dinner? You know, and that's why I had the dinner rule. But I
Yeah.
feel like that's another thing. Like we get like hookup culture is so big.
It is.
And it's in
that's all I
LA
want.
too. I feel like anywhere I've traveled a lot, so all around the countries and stuff, people are way more respectful. In LA, you got to know the game.
I still
Yeah.
haven't had my first LA hookup. I'm like, I should start dating in LA.
Wait, the guy
you
you,
need to be ready.
I thought the guy you dated.
The
was,
guy I met was where not my hometown, but like where I went to college. I won't say where it is,
Oh.
but up north,
Okay.
Northern California, like a very small town.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he was living here, but he's from up there and he was visiting. And then I was traveling here for work, so I was like,
Okay. Now, this is the good, on to the next one. I think everybody has a demon story or a villain story where you kind of start off like as an innocent, really nice person, and then someone kind of turns you kind of cold. Does anyone have a story like that where like you're like, you know what? These guys got to pay for what just happened to me.
yeah.
We're talking about men or women?
Oh, so basically a guy in each of your guys' lives that made you like, you know what? That's it.
I feel like I've never really loved anyone as much as I loved the guy that I married when I was 18. I was with him for like, I don't know how many years. Freshman year till 18. We're still legally married, actually. And he has 2 kids.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
One was born on my birthday.
You did talk about earlier that you are technically legally married on paper. So when you meet guys, like how's that conversation go?
Well, I've only really dated one other person after that.
And how
and
how do you
he
react
and
to
he
it?
knew.
Okay.
Like, yeah. He was okay with it.
Okay.
But then eventually it definitely bothered him.
For sure.
But I never thought that I would be serious with my ex-boyfriend.
Mhm.
Like, I just felt like I still loved my ex-husband. That's my husband,
Mhm.
I guess.
Technically,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now I don't at all. And I just, like, I have love for him, and I'm thankful for, like, everything that happened.
For sure.
But I realized I was very young, and it was an unhealthy, obsessive type of love that we had together.
Okay.
But
So what was his reaction when he found out like the small town girl from Northern California is now some viral, OF girl? How's that his reaction to that?
He comes from a very religious
Oh,
family,
God,
and he's in
go
the
back.
military. So, I mean, he was definitely like, okay. At first, he was young, and he was like, okay, whatever. But recently, he has been like, that's sad that you can just go on OnlyFans and see you naked. Because I was like very different before, and I had only had sex with one person until I was like 20 years old,
Okay.
and I don't know. So it's definitely a lot different than
Okay. So
what
like
he thought,
did
what
his,
I came off as.
did his mom or his dad
Oh,
reach out?
yeah, his family really meant a lot to me, and they were kind of my parents. Like I lived with them in high school,
Oh wow. Okay.
so that definitely hurt me when they found out. And I mean, I've definitely reconnected with a few of them,
Okay.
and a lot of them are actually very supportive now, and
That's
they
good.
just want me to be safe.
All right.
But I haven't really faced his mom and dad yet, and I'm nervous about that. Like, I don't know.
Got you. So I'm curious. So I guess there had to be like a catalyst, right? Usually when I meet people who do porn, it's like, oh, met some girl who's doing it. She
Yeah.
said, just do one scene with me. Did one scene. Now I've done 100. So like, what was your catalyst to go from small town girl to big time LA lights and everything?
Well, my friend was telling me about this girl that would meet people on speaking arrangements just for like lunch and
Okay.
never would do anything with them.
Okay, fair.
And I was like, oh, it's interesting. So I would have dinner with people or lunch, and I would never even touch them, and they'd give me
Okay.
like at least $1,000.
That,
and
not
then-
bad.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, people think I'm pretty, so I might as well use that to an advantage and make money from it. So I would sell pictures of myself, and eventually I was like doing no face stuff, and then
Okay.
I was like, okay, I really could make way more money. This girl, everyone talks shit about her. She went to my high school, and she was doing actual mainstream porn.
Okay.
So I reached out to her, and then I flew to LA, and now here I am, and my life is amazing, and I'm so glad I did that.
So start off with from sugar daddying, just
Yeah.
lunch, just something easy.
And it was COVID too, so
Oh wow. Okay.
so everyone like didn't really have a job, and I was just like, I want to do this. Before I was gonna do real estate, but I was
Okay.
like, I would
Reroute.
rather be the one buying the houses than the one selling the houses. So
Okay.
yeah,
So from seeking arrangements, then to
Mhm.
selling photos, no face, no case,
Mhm.
then to seeing a girl that you knew from high school, reached out to
Yeah.
her, and then she set everything up.
yep,
Wow, it's incredible,
it really is.
man. Good for you.
I
man.
know.
Good for you. I'll say this: do you have any crazy requests? Because I know on OF there's requests. Any crazy requests you get?
I've had a lot of men want to see my period, but not in a sexual way, which is kind of weird.
So break that down, because I went to
Like
I went
literally,
to, like,
I've had my old team would show me screenshots, and some people would be like, "I just want you to show me a little clip of you taking your tampon out," and I'm like, "No, that's not that crazy," but that's like definitely one of the weirder ones. I feel like I've had a non-sexual one where this guy just wanted me to click my heels 3 times and make a wish, and he asked for that every single holiday, and I got so annoyed with him. I don't know why. I just don't want to do it. I just like it was just, like he would want to
That's
talk.
like some black magic shit.
I was just like, there's
Probably,
something. I know.
sounds
I was like, something weird is happening here. I just don't think I should be part of this. Like, it's easy money, but something.
No, literally, yeah. That's
It
like
didn't
some
make
like black
sense to
magic,
me,
like
you know?
trying to put a spell on me.
No, literally,
You
I was
know?
like, I have weird vibes here. I'm gonna just not.
Now, Morgan, on your account, do you ever get anyone asking you to do weird ass things as well?
Yes.
Anything that's like memorable? That's like that's freaking weird.
A lot of peeing stuff.
Like pee.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow,
So
okay.
one time someone wanted me to put like the camera in the toilet
Okay.
to see like the POV as if I
Wow.
was
Yeah.
peeing on their face. Does that make sense?
Yes, it
They
does.
definitely want- yeah, they really want that.
And then I didn't start doing like boy girl content until I was married. And so now that like my husband like helps me plan all my videos because he's very into it. Now that I'm doing more stuff because I am with a partner that's super open, they keep pushing that boundary,
Oh, yeah.
especially with fetish and BDSM. And so some of it's not necessarily like weird, but it's like past my boundary because I have limits to like what I will do for real on camera and like what is a custom, you know what I mean? And so, like obviously there's tricks to the trade. So I would say there's a lot of beating. They want like my husband to beat me a
Oh
lot.
wow.
And not
Hey.
just like like a spank, but like they're like if you could draw if he could draw blood, that'd
Oh
be
wow.
great.
Whoa.
They want football
What
and
the
salt.
fuck? That's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's a little weird.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so so I'm curious. So you mentioned your type is Middle Eastern
Yes.
on camera, okay? And most Middle Eastern guys I know, or majority, are a bit more like what's the word? Traditional,
Conservative.
So, conservative. Let's go with that, let's go with that one,
Yes,
right?
definitely,
So,
especially
so
my
how'd you
culture.
find a guy? Not how'd you, but like how was he when you first met you? Then now he's planning and in them and like etc.
So I think the way that because we've talked about it with each other, he tells me that I was very closed off when we had like our first couple dates, and I was very like reserved and he was too as well. And we just started having like very like deep conversations, and he started opening up, and I realized how open he is. And I will give credit to his mom for raising him to be open-minded. I mean, he still has his traditional Middle Eastern values and like what he believes and things like that, but she raised him to be very open to different things. And he's also very open about what he likes and his sexuality, and that he's into not like vanilla things and things like that. And I was like, hey, yeah, me too. And so that was really good for like our physical connection. Cause I was like, yeah, I need more than just like missionary and doggy. Like, I want you to choke the shit out of me and spit in my mouth, and like even in more stuff too. Well, I'll keep that between us. I'll tell you off camera, but we also are into like more intense stuff as well. And so having those conversations, we've also like played a lot and figured it out, but he's always been super like respectful and like open-minded about that. And he was not the norm for a Middle Eastern man. And that's why he's mine.
That's what I was just gonna say. I was like, it's not like normal because
yeah.
No, not
me
at all.
like being like Middle Eastern and stuff. I feel like I'm more into like light skins. Like, that's my type. I like the light skins. You feel
With
me?
the colored eyes.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I was like, Middle Easterns, eventually I do want to settle down with a Middle Eastern guy. So I'm like, the people,
They're the best.
they are, yeah. And I'm like, especially because like the way like my family is, I have a really big family. So I'm very like close to like my uncles, and everybody, and like my cousins. So I'm like, they're really good guys. So I definitely do want a Middle Eastern guy, but I'm like, damn, I'm like into light skins right now. Like,
But I think I think you can
Pick a
agree.
stage.
Middle Easterns are great husbands. They're
They
not
are.
good boyfriends.
no, absolutely, yeah. Because
So that's why you've got to marry them.
yeah, you have to marry them. That's what I said. I was like, at the end, I do want to marry like a Middle Eastern guy. Like I kind of have to, but once you got the Middle Eastern guy, they will do anything and everything you can. It's not even about race or anything, but that's just what our culture is. We're very giving. We're very like, we like the high end. We like, it's a Dubai, baby. Welcome to Dubai, baby.
BB, come to
Baby,
Dubai.
come to Dubai. We got tigers in the house.
I was gonna say too. How did you react when you found out like that's your side job, OF? Like, how do you respond to that? I know some guys get taken back when they find that out.
He did not care.
Okay.
At all.
Again, another, wow, because again, most Middle Eastern guys being conservative, that would have been like a
he's super not the norm and super open.
Gotcha.
And even like to this day, he's like, you should be selling like your panties and making more money, because he looks at OnlyFans like a business, and he's such a businessman. He's like, you could be capitalizing on so much more income. And he knows, like, I feel like most guys like that are very like, I don't want you to do this. They don't understand that we're not doing OnlyFans because we want to talk to all these guys and we want to get railed 1,000 times a day. Same with the adult entertainment industry. Like, it's a business.
Exactly.
Fuck it. I'm selling my body, but I'm also making a shit ton of money while doing it. And I feel like he really understood that. And a lot of guys get very insecure with the idea of their girl being naked or lingerie or, adult film or whatever, that they don't really think of it as like, does she actually enjoy doing this? Is it because she's horny 24/7? No, dumbass. She just wants to make some money.
Business minded,
Yeah.
See, personally, me, I would have so done OF and stuff, right? I would have, but I just, because I'm a certain type of, like, my culture, it doesn't allow me to. Like, you can, but I'd just be, like, disowned by like, a lot of people. That's just how Middle Eastern culture. So it's like, you're like the guy that you're with is actually really good because he accepts you, and I feel like it doesn't matter what you do.
His mom is the big key for him as well. Like, when she found out that I had an OnlyFans, she was like, "You better be making X amount of dollars, because if you're not, then that's sad." Like, she's like always pushing, like, "Oh, you should do more. You should do more." And like, he even told her, because she was like, "What kind of content does she do?" And he was very open with her. He was like, "Oh, well, we shot a sex tape," and she was like, "Good. I hope it makes a lot of money."
That's a good mom.
I mean, she has
people were like this.
She's got some quirks, but when it comes to like the OnlyFans and adult stuff, she is like, get that money. She's like, it's so smart.
But that's one thing. Middle Easterns are all about money, money,
yes,
money.
They are.
They're money minded only.
So I'm hearing this conversation, right? And in my opinion, this is more of a nuanced conversation. I think back in 1950s, 60s, 70s, this type of conversation probably wouldn't be a thing. Or if it was like on the hush hush. You know what I mean? My opinion. So it's like, for me, I guess I'm more in the insecure boat, because if I know I get to be inside of you and they get to watch you virtually, but if this guy over here has access to you naked for like $10, it's like, what's left for me? No.
But it's not real.
What's not real?
OnlyFans.
It's not.
It's not real. So, like, I wonder how much of this I can actually say.
Break it down. Because the whole that's not real thing.
What?
I'm not registered. Yeah,
I'm going to break it down.
Yeah, break it down.
And if people unsubscribe and whatever, who gives a fuck? I make plenty. So basically, I offer several different things on my OnlyFans, and you can have different experiences and whatever, and there's different levels to it. And there's, you can buy, my WhatsApp or a FaceTime for X amount of dollars, and my team that helps me with my messages and whatever, they'll set it up and we'll get on that number, and I will say all the right things because I've been doing it for so long. And freaking Dylan will listen to it. He gets a kick out of it because they just are like, "Oh yes, baby," but it's not real. It'd be like, "Oh yeah, daddy, your cock is so big. I want to ride it." Like, da-da-da. But it's like, that's what I've been trained to do. Like, do I actually think his cock is big? No. Do I actually want to ride it? No. Like, but you know what? That FaceTime for 30 minutes made me, $2K. I'm going to do it.
Got you. So I see your point, and I think like attracts like. So here's what happens. When people watch this podcast, they're going to go, okay, yeah, these two girls will never find X, Y, and Z.
People have been telling me that.
Yeah.
They're like, no one's ever going to wave you up if you have an OnlyFans. And I'm like, I already did it.
Yeah, so it's like what happens is, I'm not going to lie, like 3-4 years ago, I definitely thought the same thing. You know what I mean? For sure.
Oh, yeah.
Before I joined, I thought the same thing too.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I've had my OnlyFans for years. I also did date a Lebanese guy in LA, and his big thing with me was the fact that I had an OnlyFans. Now, he loved the fact that I took him to Nobu and all this stuff with my OnlyFans money, but he had an issue with the fact that I did it.
True.
And eventually I was like, get over it. And
Gotcha.
that's why he's no longer here.
True. And I definitely do think like attracts like most of these porn star girls who I'm running into, like, oh, my boyfriend, like, dude, almost all of them say my boyfriend nowadays.
Yeah.
So it's like
That's
they're
exactly
finding,
what I was gonna
they're
say.
finding-
It's crazy.
They're
because,
finding love, regardless.
Yeah, it's an interesting podcast because us two, we don't do OnlyFans, and that's just because I told you guys my reason,
True.
But it's crazy because look who's married and look who's not.
Not. Yeah, true.
Like, you have it good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's true. That's actually so true.
No, it's so true. And I'm over here, like, I talk to my friends all the time. I'm like, I want to get married. I want to find this, like, guy. I want to find a Middle Eastern guy. Or, I'm not really, like, it doesn't really matter what race. That's what I prefer. But I'm like, girls that are actually hustling and doing business, people shouldn't be talking. But because guess what? The people that are going to be hating on you guys are people that don't really make anything.
Yes.
So they're going to try hating, talking, saying all these things. But, I'm not married. I'm single.
But also the best piece of advice I think I can give to men and women is communicate. So Dylan and I broke down like everything, that little thing that may have bothered me that he did or part of his culture or me and my business and yada, yada. Like we broke it down and he was like, this bothers me because I don't understand it. Can we please have a conversation about it? We did, and we worked for it. Like, I feel like a lot of men don't sit down and they're like, babe, like, I really don't get, your career. Can we talk about it? Can you explain it to me? And if you would fucking
That's
do
very
that,
mature.
like, you'd get over it.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
You just need to like learn about it and see from the woman's perspective, and then you'll feel way better.
So what do you say to guys who think that OnlyFans is like, okay, I give up, I'll just do OnlyFans, right? It's almost like the I don't really want to go be X, Y, and Z, so I'll just be an OnlyFans. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say?
But it's not easy.
It's way harder than a normal job. You're
Yeah.
always working, and it takes so much out of you, like physically and emotionally and mentally.
But also,
Yeah.
like, it's not like we just woke up and we're like, well, yeah,
Yeah.
we're making, $10K a month. Like,
No.
it went into promotions. And for me, it was Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, collaborations. And it took a lot of time before I really started seeing, like, good numbers. And that was a lot of work. That was not easy. There was a lot of shoots that, I had to accommodate the bigger creator and be on her schedule to get, 100 fans of hers to, like, subscribe to me. Like, it's not easy.
So when the outside world, because I'm a content creator, so I get how content can be. From the outside world who works like a normal 9-to-5 job, right? Who punching numbers in a computer and they hear hard work, right? I guess break it down as far as like, okay, what makes it hard? Is it going to be the posting regularly? Is it responding to fans? Or what makes it like OF like a more of a challenging job than people think? What makes it challenging?
I think you would be great to, like, I'm going to give an answer, and I think you would give a good explanation.
Okay.
It's mentally draining.
It is.
Oh yeah. Oh, that
You
was
have to be
She
so fake.
Is probably better to explain that than I am.
Because especially when I do porn shoots, the director wants you to fake come every position, and you're having sex with someone that you're physically not attracted to, so
I barely know.
and barely know. Like
And,
even the
like,
men,
how long are your set times?
sometimes it's 12 hours.
Yeah, that's what I
Like
thought.
sometimes longer, and you sit there for
Jeez.
makeup, hair. The dialogue is so fucking long, and then
I just skipped that part.
yeah. It's I know it's so annoying.
So like trying to explain, like, yeah, babe, I had to lay there for 12 hours and go,
Yeah.
Like,
Well, like the actual sex part isn't even that long. It's like 20 minutes to 45 minutes, an hour, depending on if the guy can stay hard. But most male talents
that's it?
shoot their dick up now. But like the rest of the set is like waiting around, learning your dialogue, and then like cut and go.
so it's kind of like up and down, up and down.
Yeah, it's never a full on
Ugh,
just sex
that's-
until the end. Some
Okay.
companies, like the very little ones, are like that, but usually it's a whole production, like a movie.
Like
So
the
you have
guy's
to,
not
like-
staying, like he's not
No, well, like because they're like cut. Okay, now I want to reposition the lights, and like now I want you to do
The
this.
lights.
Yeah, and like VR scenes are even more complicated. It's crazy.
staying. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, so the biggest thing you say, guys, you two, is the mental, right? Because like you mentioned, I have a very hard time talking to like an obese woman and telling her how beautiful she is.
Yeah.
It'd be like, it doesn't make any sense. I don't want to, but I have to get myself into a character to do that. That's tough.
Like, for example, when I shoot scenes with my husband for OnlyFans, he gets drained way faster
Yeah.
than I do. He's like, I need to come now. Like, he gets pissed because that's like how it works. And so we like have to like be very careful in like planning and the lighting and the positions and the angles and da 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 da. And so it's hard for him, and he extra gets it now.
So
Yeah.
I'll say this: the husband, does he get shame from his friends that he's joining you, or does you guys have that conversation?
No, they think they're like he's like. They actually tell him that he should be more business minded and take a percentage, and he's like, no, it's my wife, like she can
Aw.
keep it.
That's
But
nice,
he,
yeah.
That's so cute.
the businessman in
Wow.
him, he was like, maybe I should get a 20% cut, and I'm
Mhm.
like, no. No, but that's like the running joke. But no, he's
The friends don't give him a hard time.
no, I'm pretty sure that it was when we were initially having a conversation about it before we decided, because he was ready before I was to like shoot adult content, because we had lots of conversations because he doesn't show his face.
Oh, yeah, of
I
course, yeah.
do. And so I was like, it's my face that's going to be out there. You get to wear, whatever going to cover up. And his friends were very open, like, well, because he was like, I don't understand why she keeps saying like my face, and why it was such a big deal to me. And his friends were the one, I think, that like really broke it down better than I did, and like were very encouraging to me and him. And they're like, this is so smart financially for you guys to do this. I feel like everyone in his circle is very like-minded as to him. Like he doesn't really have any like bad influences.
Okay.
And so they were all very supportive.
So I'm asking you a question: if you had a choice, you and your husband, to I say start a mom and pop kebab shop or start an OF account, which one would you go for?
Oh, he would do the OnlyFans all day long.
Really?
Yeah, because the ROI would be higher.
Way
Mhm.
higher. Okay.
And that's how he does business.
Got you. Because I think for me, I think my ego and shame would stop me from like doing that. And I'd probably choose the kebab shop
Mhm.
because I just feel like, of course, the ROI, dude, lights and a bed and a hot girl, you're making a lot of money. Of course, there's more
Yes.
to it.
Yeah.
But that's like the basics. You have
But
a kid.
it also depends on like what you want. And that's something that you're being very open about here, is that you're not really super open to OnlyFans when it's your girl. And that I totally understand. There
Yes.
are people like that. And I'm, my husband's the opposite way. And that's fine as long as you're vocal about it. And also, if you do meet an OnlyFans girl and you talk to her and you do feel that way, don't pursue anything with her.
Yeah, I think that's smart
That's just toxic.
Yeah.
for guys to go in and try to recruit her back to like the, I guess what's
Let me save you.
Yeah, exactly.
Also,
Let me
I feel like
save
I
you.
don't plan on doing OnlyFans and sex work, whatever, like porn forever.
Okay.
I feel like I'm just doing it now so that I can provide for my future family
Okay.
in the best possible way. So then when I do meet the person that I want to have children with and I'm ready to have children with him, then I'm not going to have to work anymore. And I can
Gotcha.
just like live my life and be with my kids and be the best mom ever.
So wrapping up closing statements, I want to ask about you real quick. You mentioned, the retiring day, right?
Yes.
Do you, how do I say this properly? Would you ever like hire people to like erase all of that from the past? Like, or like, would you let it stay?
You
no,
can't.
It just doesn't make sense. I don't think that it would still be there in some way. Someone has a screenshot or something.
Yeah. So I actually looked into that. And they can take it down the first, like on Google, there's like thousands of like pop-up
Yeah.
pages or whatever. And they can take it down off the first couple, but it's always going to be there. And
Yeah.
also I'm at the point now where like, if you don't know that I do OnlyFans by now, where have you been?
Mm.
And you know who I am? I do take down people that post my explicit content for free.
Oh, yeah.
Now that I do have a lawyer and a team for, because if you're going to look at my naked body, I'm going to make some money off of it.
Period. Any ladies have any closing thoughts before we finish the show? I'll say this as a closing thought.
Okay.
It's cool to have new conversations because I'm not going to lie. If these were all men, right? And we were talking about OnlyFans, the
Yeah.
conversation would be so much different.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yes.
It would be because how men see it, right? And then how girls see it, it's different. I think there is a little bit now, I'll say it, guys might not be very, fond of this statement. We have a bit of resentment for it. It's like, wait a minute. I have to go in a freaking coal mine and work my damn ass off where you girls can like go suck dick in a parking lot and make in public like put it on Twitter and make a bunch of money.
I really think that's what it
men are the
is.
ones paying for it. Like, you guys are the ones that are.
Yeah, you're right.
It's-
We are the consumers.
yeah.
We are the
Mhm.
consumers, but it comes with resentment. It's like, damn, this
course.
girl, like for example, Bad Baby, Catch Me Outside.
Oh, she
She-
made so much
She
money.
turned 18
She really
on the
did.
dot, made OF, and became
Yeah.
a millionaire overnight.
Mhm.
And guys were like,
She
bro,
made how much?
it was like 15 or 18
I
million.
That's
was
great.
nuts.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's like, there's
I
men
think
out
they're
there.
just mad that they can't do it. But let me tell you
There's
what,
resentment. I agree.
the top OnlyFans creators are gay men.
It's so true.
It's
It's
not
very
women.
true.
If they actually did their research,
That was
it's
Black
gay men.
China. And she was like a girl.
No, on average,
On
the
average.
gay
Well, a lot
creators
of-
make more.
Men in the porn industry, like they aren't even gay, but they'll just do
Mm-hmm.
solos and just like pictures of their asshole, and then they make a lot of money because, or they will fuck women because a lot of gay fans like the fantasy of liking a straight man. I guess I don't know. That's what I've heard from some
Yeah.
friends. So
Got you. So I think, the conversation, again, with men right here would be a lot different. So bringing girls who are in it and are successful in it can give a
Yeah.
good perspective. And the biggest thing is like attracts like. So if she's in this industry, she'll find someone, hopefully next time, who is accepting of it and just,
yeah,
dates her regardless.
I will
right?
never date anyone in the industry though.
Okay.
Nope.
Exactly. Fair enough. And yeah, man, I think like attracts like. So people you write on the internet, mean comments like you'll never find anything or never find anything worthy. They could and they will because you see it all the time. I see it all the time now
Yeah.
for sure, 1,000%. So yeah, I think there's definitely some resentment because the whole Bad Baby thing. It's like, dude, she turned 18 on the dot, made an
Mhm.
account, millionaire.
Crazy.
See, that's what's crazy to me because like, you guys are making like millions, like girls that are doing like OnlyFans and stuff. They
Crazy.
make a lot of money. So I'm like, damn. Because
It's
like I
also
do
not
most
just
of this, like I do
OnlyFans.
social media.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of things, you
There's
know.
a bunch of
A
them.
bunch of things that you can do. So I do like I'm in like nursing school, working my ass off, and I'm like, damn, I'm not even fucking getting paid for this shit right now.
True, this girl's
You know what I
making
mean? So I'm
cash.
like, dang, like sometimes I get respect to girls that are like about their hustle and stuff because if I could, I would. You know what I mean? And it's kind of cool. Like, I mean, it's a lot of work. No matter what
Yeah.
you do, no matter what career you pick, I feel like being like a woman, we have a lot that we can do. There's a lot of ways that you can make money, but I get props to you guys because I feel like people don't really know the work that you got to really put in.
Thank you.
And I learned a lot, so we definitely respect it.
Absolutely. Well, you guys have a great day. Another episode of He Said, She Said. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.